I made a beautiful scrappy heart just for you, and I'm going to show you how to do it. This was really pretty. Now, folks, I'm gonna lay this out. I'm going to keep this in view, but I'm going to lay out a new one while I tell you about this. This measure is finished 15 inches square, so yes, this is kind of large, all right? So keep that in mind. It uses 10 half square triangles, and my advice to you is make your half square triangles first, whatever size you want. It doesn't matter what size mine are, although I'll tell you, mine finish out at 3 inches square. Once you make your half square triangles and decide on what size they will be, that is going to determine the size of everything else, okay? Because all the rest of the squares in this project will be the size of that half square triangle you made. So likewise, I need 6 squares of just plain white, because these will fill in around the background. And then I need 20 squares of random material, random fabric that has red in it. These came from my scrap bin. All of this did, okay? Because it's easy to cut 3 little 3-inch squares out of some of the scraps that I have. So that was not a difficult thing for me to do at all. So once you get all these things cut, then you start laying this out. Now, when you sew it together, it's much more compact than it is when you're first laying it out, as you can see. I'm going to do 2 random pieces here, and then a guy here. And I might not even be able to do this on the small piece of table that I have left. Let's just see if I can make this work. This, and then this. Oh yeah, this is going to work out okay. But you can see that I am taking just some random pieces of my red fabric here. I'm just filling them in. It really doesn't matter what I'm choosing for this. That's going to be that. I'm going to use this one here. And that's the rest. The rest gets filled in with these random things. So look, I used the airplane over here. I'm going to use them over here. I'm going to use them up here. Just take your fabrics and see where you have placed them already, and just try not to get them next to each other. This one I have 4 of. You know, most of them have 3, but you need 20 squares in all, of course. I ran out of fabric on some of them, so I had extra from some of the others. So that's how I did that. I'll place this here. I'm going to go there. And I'm almost out here. And when you're done, you can step back and look at this. Now look, I've got 2. I don't want these to be next to each other. These 2 next to each other, not a good thing, so I'm going to swap this out with this. And that's all there is to it. I'm filling in with my white squares then. And look, this is 36 squares. You know that's a lot. That is nice. Now look, it shrinks down, you know, when you sew these together. And like any quilt block, and I do a special video just on assembling, assemble this way. Assemble it in 2s. Here's your 2, here's a 2, here's a 2. Do that all the way. Make yourself some 2s, then take your 2s and join them to these to make a 4. Make some 4s, make some 4s, and you get the picture. Build as you go like that. This is a beautiful project, especially since it's made with scraps. I really love it. I hope you will make a scrappy heart, and happy sewing.